Well, thank you. I won't take a whole lot of time today, but I want to thank you all for coming out, and obviously thank 60 Plus for this honor. As we look at it, there is truly a war that is being waged on seniors. And it's amazing. As a young man growing up, they would tell me, well, Social Security and Medicare are not going to be around when you get there, and they've told me that. And the closer I get, the more it becomes a relevant question. When you're 30 or 40, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. But, as one person asked me today, he says, now, do you have to be 60 plus to get this award? And they were trying to figure out if I was 60 or not. And so I said, no, I'm just a little bit shy there. But there is truly a war that is being waged on our seniors. And what happens is those of the opposing party will continue to say that what we do is we hate seniors. But when you really look at the record, what we have to do is make sure that we make real changes. Because the plan right now is to do nothing. That's the plan. That's the current plan, is to do nothing. And with that, Medicare will be bankrupt by 2024. Now, that sounds like it's a long ways away, but really we're talking about just 12 short years that it will be bankrupt. And so what we have to do is have a plan to make sure that it's preserved. The second part of that is, and what they don't like to tell you is that by doing nothing on that plan, one, we don't save Medicare, but the other is by doing nothing on energy, we've essentially given all our seniors who are on a fixed income a pay decrease. Because what we've had is gas has gone from $1.80 a gallon, to $3.70 a gallon, and yet the cost of living, the way that it's calculated, really doesn't take into effect the way that seniors purchase. When we look at the way that they figure it, it's based on the fact that you might buy an iPad or an iPod or whatever, but most seniors focus their purchases on fuel or food, or the bare necessities, and that's not actually figured in the way that they figure it. And so what we've seen is under the last 3.5 years is seniors have actually gotten a pay cut. And so we need to make sure that we articulate that, because what happens is if we don't, the other side will be against seniors. And you know what? They're the biggest voting bloc, especially in the 11th Congressional District. When you look at the average age of the voters here, it's well over 64 years of age. And so when you look at that, it is all about making sure that our message is put to them in a way that makes sense. This is not about party. It's about a plan. It's not about power. It's about a plan. And it's not about politics. It's about a plan, and it's a plan to save those things and truly protect the rights of our seniors. And if we do that, and we're effective in doing that, what happens is we're going to have to make some tough choices. But you know what? I look around this room, and many of you I know very well. Some of you I've met for the first time today. But most of you are willing to sacrifice, not just for your sake, but for our country's sake. And the wonderful thing that we see with 60 plus and groups that are willing to stand up is when you tell the truth, ultimately the plan that gets put into place will make a difference. And what we're doing is telling the truth, and we're going to protect seniors. Now, my mom is 75 years old, and she says, well, honey, just don't do anything to my Medicare. And as we do that, and the interesting thing there is if we do nothing, it will fail. I talked to some of the folks on the budget committee, and I said, I'm reading all this because it's really easy to read, headlines and get that and say, well, is it true? Is it not? So I called 2 different members on the budget committee, and I said, is this true that we're looking at a bankrupt Medicare? And they said, well, you know what? It's worse than that. If we do nothing, it could potentially go bankrupt in 9 years. So what's our answer to that? Well, we steal over $1,716 billion out of Medicare and fund Obamacare, and yet when we do that, we think that it won't have a consequence. Now how many of you in here knew that there was a problem with funding of Medicare before Obamacare came in? Almost every one of us knew that. And so how, basic mathematics says if you take $716 billion out of a program and put it in some other program, that's not making it safer. And that's what the message is out there, is that they're making Medicare safer. Here's the other thing is, when you have 15 people that are appointed to decide what kind of health care should be provided to our seniors, and they're not elected, they're appointed, and their sole task is to cut down on the amount of health care that gets provided to our seniors, there's a problem there, guys, and we need to articulate that. So when you have your friends that are out there talking about the fact, well, you're just a Republican. No, you say it's not about the party. It's about the fact that we have a plan to save it. And here is the thing is, as we see this plan and as we start to make a difference, what will happen is the generations to come, those that are not 55 years of age. And by the way, under the Ryan plan, if you're 55 years of age, and I'm looking around the room, most of you are right there at 55. We will see that it doesn't affect you anyways. What we're talking about are people that are under 55 with the Ryan plan, and truly, it's not going to be there anyways. And so we need to make sure that we carry the message, and if we carry the message to them, hopefully what we'll do is see that truth will prevail. I'm honored to receive this award. I thank you so much. I appreciate Ted Turner coming to present it, and in doing that, thank you all so much for who you are, and look forward to getting to see you. There's some great folks here. We've got Vice Chairman and Commissioner Bill O'Connor is here with us today. We have Lisa Apodaca, wife of Senator Apodaca, is here with us today, and it's good to have you here. And we've got Emily Cowan, who is a candidate for District Court Judge. It's so good to have you here with us today. But thank you all. Oh, we also have my favorite city councilman. He's here in the back. Rob is here. And so, Ron, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it, and look forward to getting to see you all. Thank you so much. God bless.